KHAZARIAN mob using virus fear porn in desperate attempt to keep control over its 200-plus nation-states. The KHAZARIAN mob is fighting for its life and stalking pandemic fear porn in a desperate attempt to keep its control grid over humanity. Multiple sources say this is happening because they cannot meet a payments deadline for the United States of America cooperation. The sources involved in negotiations say one of the aims of the negotiation is to restore sovereignty to the people and the Republic of the United States of America. This will also result in unreviewing of secret spy program, they add. We will talk more about this later, but first, let us look at the cable's pandemic survivor gambit. As most of our readers are probably already aware, it is highly unlikely the coronavirus outbreak in China was a natural occurring event. There are many signs this pandemic was planned in advance in an attempt to extort money from China for the U.S. cooperation. First of all, there was a systematic attack on all internet sites that provide news suppressed by corporate propaganda media. For example, Natural News, with its long history of exposing vaccine-related scandals, was shut down. Gemstone Freelance was also hit harder than usual. Other journalists are being hit with bogus criminal charges. This site too has come under severe attack. Our former webmaster suddenly lost his mind and displayed signs of severe PCB poisonous. Now he has committed suicide. Following this, we were locked out of our own site until White has, in the NSA, helped restore it. We are also under serious financial attack. These attacks came just before the coronavirus pandemic emerged and was given sensations, feared, monitoring, and saturation coverage in the corporate media. In addition to being blackmail, this appears to be an attempt to reinsert fear and hate as the controlling narrative of our public disclosed. It looks like they had a rehearsal on October 18, 2019, when a huge exercise was held in the U.S. simulating a pandemic and the resulting economic collapse. The sponsor of this event were the World Economic Forum, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Bloomberg School of Public Health at Johns Hopkins University, in other words, the Cable Central. Then, just as the World Economic Forum was having its annual meeting in Davos on January 21st to 24th, 2020, a real pandemic breakdown was giving saturation publicity. However, this plot, if it is one, is blowing up in their faces because alternative news sites like Prepared for Change put out some of the massive evidence that exists showing that the U.S. corporate government has been manufacturing and spreading bioweapons ever since George Bush stole the election in 2000. Remember, these are the guys who said an ethics-specific bioweapon would be a useful political tool. British intelligence are reporting to us that they are hearing it is a pneumonia virus which arose out of poorly managed biocide. The following statement was put out by Asian secret societies, including the 55 million-member Hongmen and the Blue Dragon Society with their many millions of members. If this virus was artificial or released as part of an attack plot and is not a natural virus, then we, Hongmen, the largest secret society in Asia, together with the Iron Bond Secret Blue Society, vow that we will for sure hunt down the enemy, chase for them to the ends of the earth, and make sure that none, even a single one of their hair, remain on this planet. Now there is a huge campaign to spread the message that this was a natural occurring virus or that it was spread by the Chinese. For sure, viruses do emerge naturally, especially in Chinese countryside where dogs, pigs, and humans live in close proximity. Here's what the chief doctor of a large university hospital who specialized in animal-to-human disease transmission had to say about the outbreak. is the unfortunate result of those who raid us animal markets, with animals that would normally never be in such close proximity with other animals or with humans. It's a perfect doomsday scenario of a new virus to emerge. We saw it with the SARS. We are seeing it now. We will see other similar infections emerge again in the future. Many of the viruses that infect humans are of animal origin. What is different now is the size of our population and modern transportation, which allows for much faster spread of new disease. The cable had better hope she is right and the disease was natural. In any case, it's clear that the Chinese are not telling us the whole truth about how far it has spread. The official Xinhua news agency is saying the province of Hubei at the epicenter is reporting 1,052 cumulative confirmed cases of pneumonia, with 52 deaths and 129 cases in severe condition. If that's true, then why it is that more than 500,000 Medicaid staff have joined the epidemic prevention, control, and treatment of patients in Hubei? Also, if there are only a few more than 1,000 patients, why in Wuhan, a mega city that hosts a number of national re-owned mega hospital, are people working around the clock to build 2 makeshift hospitals in suburban Wuhan? Just as this newspaper was about to go public, a high-level CIA-connected whistleblowers contacted us to say, "This is not a coronavirus. It's the Nipah virus caused by fruit bats. There are cycles of much more virulent strains of the Nipah virus. The WHO knew about this in August of 2018. It is zoonotic. China will soon go into a total lockdown. Hong Kong will be economically destroyed. This virus is going global. The pandemic is already here. The WHO is delaying calling it. It is because they are scared shitless." In my professional medical opinion, this is the real deal, my friend. The truth is being covered up as usual by the controlling global cable. All of reality is fabric that the controllers are losing control over. If China goes into complete lockdown, this will be what pushes the global economic collapse into free fall. It is game over and a reset will take place. Anybody with any real market experience will tell you that a black swan event is unfolding. If you look at the charts below, you can see that the financial markets are facing the mathematical certainty of a meltdown. Also, as the cable exercise in October predicted, the pandemic will be a trigger by freezing world trade and economic activity. A few other bits of news show that it is not business as usual. For one thing, we have a huge plague of locusts hitting Africa's breadbasket region at the same time as China fights a pandemic. Coincidence? Then we have NATO preparation for a war against Russia. Meanwhile, U.S. Central Command appears to be ignoring orders from Washington and is briefing up in the Middle East and financing itself with the oil fields there. Also, U.S. corporate President Donald Trump is about to announce an Iraq-Israel peace plan that is already dead on arrival. In any case, negative urgency generated by the pandemic and associated campaign is falling to blow up a huge wave of positive news that is emerging. For example, Trump, who recently participated in yet another attempt to start an artificial Armageddon in Iran, did an about-turn at Davos saying, "To embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prospects of doom and their predictions of apocalypse." At the same event, the unpopular Prince Charles of the UK actually made some very good policy proposals. In particular, he called for gently mobilizing the kind of trillions of dollars needed to fix the planet. According to senior leaders of a secret space program, It is no coincidence that the newly announced U.S. Space Force has a logo that looks very similar to the one in Star Trek. This is because there has been a high-level agreement reached between East and West for a meritocratic new organization to be created in order to oversee human expansion into the universe. Star Trek provides the motto, "To get from here to there in concrete terms is a task that now lies ahead." A senior member of the secret space program has in his possession the original secret treaty between King George III and the Republic of the United States of America. He says a condition of unviewing the secret space program and the 5,000 patents hidden for national security reasons is the restoration of sovereignty to the American Republic and its people. Another condition is the replacing of Admiralty law with common law of the people, he says. In addition, this individual has in his possession the documents from the Holy Roman Empire that control the world's financial system and the 206 countries that controlled under it. Throughout the entire world, he says, the peoples on the land will be liberated from the 200 corrupt countries run by people on the dark side. P3 Freemasons who represent the Holy Roman Empire are also in agreement with these goals. When this is accomplished, vast funds can be released to finance a massive campaign to end poverty, war, environmental destructions, disease, and even mortality. Then, the quarantine on the planet will end.